Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new edition of Talk is Cheap right here on Spreaker.com. I am your host, Seth Wheat. Thank you guys for joining along this evening. Basically, for those of y'all who are new to Talk is Cheap is pretty much an open discussion about random subjects, whether it's around here in the United States or around the world. And not only that, but it could be about anything and everything. So pretty much if you're new to Talk is Cheap, that's basically what the podcast is pretty much all about. Now, in this edition of Talk is Cheap, the subject tonight, which I was going to do a random chat, but tonight, Talk is Cheap is pretty much, the subject is podcasting. Now, for those of y'all who are new to podcasting, there are several things that I like to discuss about the podcasting, because if you're not familiar with podcasting and you don't know what you're doing, then you obviously don't need to be a podcaster, pretty much. It's no disrespect to those, but that's pretty much the way it is. This is a 30-minute podcast. Everybody is invited to tune in. The one thing I will say, though, I will not bring up any serious subjects such as racism or the whole thing about the Confederate flag. I will not be bringing any of that up due to the fact that I am not one to start stuff. So just thought I'd throw that out there for you guys. In this edition of Talk is Cheap, I'm going to be talking about podcasting. So nothing serious, nothing bad. I'd like to throw some tips in there and some advice to those who are newcomers for podcasting. I, for one, have started for about a year and a half. I've been doing this for about a year and a half now. I just started last February, not this February of this year, but February of last year, it happened by mistake. I did not mean to actually start a podcast, but I'm glad I did. But anyways, for those of y'all who are new to the whole podcasting thing, it can be a little tricky. It could also be a little difficult, but as long as you know what you're doing, then you belong. But if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know the controls to like your to things like that, then you have no business being a DJ, being a podcaster. People can say out there that it's an easy thing to do, to get up on a microphone and talk. In all honesty, if for some reason you've never talked on a microphone before in a radio station, then you're not going to be comfortable talking to a live crowd, not a live crowd, but, to people all over the world. Luckily for me, since I've been doing this, I have gained more self-confidence in me in speaking. I'm not afraid to go to the radio station and pretty much open and talk. Does that mean that I'm a motor mouth? No, not at all. No, it pretty much just means that I am more open now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I got a little bit of the sniffles. I'm not sick or nothing, it's just I've been yawning so much today, so I apologize for that. No. When I first started going, and I'll give you guys a perfect example of this, when I first started going to the radio station at Extra 99.1 FM with my good friends Neil Steele and Reese Williams, I was shy being on the radio. I never really talked a whole lot. But since I started the podcast here on my show, The Seth Show, as my other show is, since I've been doing that, I have truly begun to open up about things. And I'm glad I did, because now for every time I go up to the radio station, I have more and more and more to talk about. So I just want to give you guys just a heads up too. I will be doing this podcast every Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. my time here in Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, and 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights for any of y'all who would like to check it out. Now, there are times where I'll mark it explicit. I marked it explicit on this edition, just in case if I throw any language out there. So, just figured I'd give you guys the heads up on that one. But, podcasting can be very easy. It could also be very, very difficult. Like I said, for those who have dreamt of ever becoming a DJ, this is definitely something you guys would enjoy doing. Since it has been a dream come true for me to actually do what I enjoy doing, which is broadcasting for my friends, my followers, playing the music they love, playing the music that I enjoy also, it has really helped me out a lot. Knowing more music out there, bands that I've never heard of, and it can be right fun, but like I said, it can also be irritating too, because when you have so much equipment that you have, like let's say for example for me, I have 2 laptops, one that I broadcast off of, my other laptop which I take requests off of, and of course my mixer that I use to broadcast from. So it can be irritating sometimes. It really, really, really can be. And I guess to say the least that the more you do the podcasts and everything, the more I guess you can say whatever it leads you to. Like for me right now, you know, they say Rome wasn't built in a day. And with me doing this for a year and a half, going on 2 years, I'm hoping that as I continue to do this, that it will lead to something. Maybe getting recognized, maybe me getting recognized for doing something cool. I don't know. We'll see. And of course, let's see here. What else about podcasting? It's also a funny thing too, because like my good friend T-Var, or my friend Paulie B, or Princess of Darkness, or DJ Baby Boy. DJ Baby Boy is an actual DJ. He's been doing it for a while, obviously, and I guess so was Princess of Darkness, and I think Paulie B as well. But me, on the other hand, I've never actually had the experience of being a DJ, let alone being a podcaster. So it's something new to me, and I'm still a rookie at it, but I'm still learning. Learning the ropes of it is, well, that saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. So you can, for me, if I had to give advice to anyone out there who wants to start doing their own show, like what I do, not like this on Talk is Cheap, but on something like, let's say, for example, like my show, The Seth Show. For those of y'all who want to start with something like that, start small. Start small and slowly work your way up and see where it leads to. And that's what I did. I started from the bottom and started working slowly up. And basically what I mean by working, start from the bottom, work your way up, is I didn't have an intro to my show when I first started. And not only that, but I didn't really have a comedy clip to play either, like I do on my shows. Basically all I did was I was talking for a few minutes, then play more music. I played more music than I did talk. And now all of a sudden, as I got more and I started broadcasting more, and then I started learning, you know what? Every show has an intro. So you got to have your own intro. But see, if you're just starting off as a first-time podcaster, see how it goes first. If you've got a computer, try broadcasting off of the computer first and see where that goes. And if you see that you're starting to build more followers, more listeners, slowly work your way up to having a plan, a pro plan, like what I've got, which is $20 a month, and I'm able to do 3-hour shows, although I do 1 to 2 hours. But work your way up to it. Work your way up. Don't be in a rush to actually get in there real quick. Because if you do, you may not get what you want. In other words, you may not get the followers you want, and you may not get the listeners you want. Granted, there are people around the world that do listen into this stuff, and granted, there are also people that will follow you. But the thing of it is if you really want a crowd, like what I'm starting to get, start slowly. Start slowly and work your way up. That's what I did. Because I started with my good friend Ashton, who was my first real follower. Started with her. Then my buddy T-Var started listening in, and now I have friends like Polly B, Princess of Darkness, Total Brian, DJ Baby Boy. All of them are not only following me, but they're also tuning in sometimes. And it's pretty cool, too. I'm not going to lie. But you get awesome followers, and they will help you. Not to mention, if you're good friends with DJs, like actual radio DJs, they can give you pointers, too. Not just people like me, or T-Var, or DJ Baby Boy, or Princess of Darkness. People like actual radio DJs will help you out. They will give you pointers. And if I was you, I would listen in. Because otherwise, if you don't listen and pay attention to what they say, you're not going to know shit about DJing, pretty much. Me, I had a chance back in middle school to take DJing, broadcasting, pretty much. And I never had the chance to. And this is a dream come true for me. So that's why I decided to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this podcast right now. So, just go with the flow, too. You don't have to run by script. You don't have to do any of that. Just go with the flow. Go by, what's on your mind. Talk about things. Make sure you listen to your followers and listen to your listeners that are tuning in. Make sure you listen to them. If they ask you to play a song, don't deny it. Don't deny their request, otherwise you will lose them as a follower. Trust me, okay? It's better to listen to them, and if they have a certain request, play it for them, okay? Listen to them. Talk to them, okay? Enjoy podcasting. Because, like I said, it can be a lot of fun. It really can be. And it can be tiring, too. I'm not going to lie. When I get on my show and do 2 hours on my Friday night shows, I'm not going to lie, I get tired from broadcasting afterwards. It can be tiring. It really can be. But like I said, it can also be a lot of fun too, because then you get a lot of followers listening in, you get a lot of listeners tuning in also. And you get people who are also downloading your tracks or listening live, so I mean, it's really, really cool. It really, really is. Just don't go overboard with it. Otherwise, you may lose some followers, you may lose listeners. So, anyways, I'm going to take a commercial break here, just a few seconds here, and I will be right back with Talk is Cheap with this episode of podcasting. So I will be right back right after this.
Uh-oh! Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Oh, excuse me, ladies, coming through. Guess what day? Ooh, popcorn! Hey, guess what? Popcorn!
Oh, you put extra butter, huh? Nice.
What day is it? What's today? What? What? Do I have popcorn in my teeth?
I mean, we talked for a long time.
Hey, Mike! Guess what day it is? It's movie day! Turn off your cell phone!
You know him?
Let me call you back. Yeah, we work together.
Is that your mom, man? Oh, movies with your mom. I dig it, dude. That's nice. Movie day? Whoop, whoop! Yeah! Give it up! Movies!
Alrighty, welcome back to Talk is Cheap, right here on Spreaker.com with yours truly right here, Seth Wheat. I am the host of Talk is Cheap. And of course, when I'm on my own show, The Seth Show, I am known as DJ Seth Keep It Sweet Wheat. So, on this, I'll be known as simply Seth Wheat. And on my show, of course, I will be known as DJ Seth Keep It Sweet Wheat. Just letting you all know that one. And like I said, I marked it as explicit on this edition because just in case if I actually go overboard with any language, which I have not done so far, I've only used one word. So, I think I've done pretty well so far, I believe. Back to the subject of podcasting, or pretty much DJing also. I don't know too much about it, but I do know from what I have learned that you do have, if it's been a dream come true for you to do something like this, do it. Don't pass it up, do it. Because you may never get a chance like this again, because, I mean, I'm going to keep doing this show, this podcast, and my show, The Seth Show. I'm going to continue to do these until, for some reason, they decide to get rid of this website. So,